Good Wednesday morning. Glad I got an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you this morning. I hope it'll be an encouragement to you. Yesterday we looked at one of the last principles of sowing and reaping. And in that same passage, Paul writes this. He says, "And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith." We're to do good to everyone, and especially those of the household of faith. Now, when you look at this passage, you have to ask yourself, why does Paul say that we especially need to do good to the household of faith? Well, I think there's two reasons. Number one, we are part of the family of God. We're brothers and sisters in the Lord, and we ought to treat one another right because we are part of the family of God. But the second reason is so important also, and we forget this, and that is that we are to be a testimony before the Lord, before the world. And when they're looking at us, they're going to look and see how the church treats one another, how we treat one another. Are we loving one another? Are we being kind one to another, forgiving one another? Because that will be a testimony to them. Now, if we are not being kind, if we're not treating one another right, and we're not good to one another, and the world looks at us and sees us treating each other poorly, then why would the world ever want to come to know Christ as Lord and Savior if Christians do not love one another? And so we need to see that the reason that we do good is, number one, we're part of the family of God, and number two, for our testimony, so that the people know that we are Christians by our love. So let's treat one another right. Let's do good so that we might show others the love of Christ. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.